Hey guys, hope everybody's staying safe out there. Thank you to those of you guys been doing your lessons. So starting this week on April 13th, Monday, I've switched everything to be just one file. So all you have to do is click on the date in Google Classroom and just click on the Google Doc, and everything you need is going to be in there. So this is the one for Monday, April 13th. Our objectives are always going to be at the top. So after this lesson, we're going to be able to differentiate between objects that are composed of a single substance and objects that are composed of more than one substance. And then we're also going to be able to identify the difference between mixtures and solutions. So as always, please make sure you put your first and last name. You can go ahead and pause it and do your PDN. I'm going to go ahead and skip down. So when your PDN is done, you can go ahead and unpause the video. And I want to go ahead and do the vocabulary. So we've got two main words that we really need to completely understand in order to hit those objectives. So the first one here in the column is mixture. So on the left-hand side of a mixture, we have the definition, the characteristics, the ways to separate it, and the examples. So for a mixture, the definition is combination of two or more kinds of matter. And the characteristics, you can still see each different substance in a mixture. And physical and chemical properties stay the same. So in a mixture, you can see the different substances. You can visually see the two different substances in a mixture, and their properties stay the same. And there's a bunch of ways to separate it. You can use a filtration system using a filter, screen, or net. We saw that back in class in our reading where they were filtering, I believe it was water, through a little screen, and on the other end, the smaller particles got through and the larger particles stayed behind. So that's one way of separating it. You can actually physically pick out things that are bigger or smaller or different. You can also use magnets if it's metal. So a couple examples I give you here: salad. Those are both solids and solids. So you can like physically pick out the leaves of lettuce, and you can pick out the tomatoes and separate that mixture again. Tea and honey and liquids they can separate. We saw that in class when we had those tubes that had, what was it, like water and oil or vinegar and oil, and the two separated. So those are ways you can separate mixtures. So solutions now, you have the definition: mixture in which two or more substances blend completely. So unlike a mixture, you can't see the two. You cannot see all the substances separately, and physically and chemically, the properties may change. And again, we saw that in class when we added an emulsifier, and no longer was there separation between the vinegar and the oil. So there's ways to separate it. There are a couple. Distillation, which means evaporates a liquid from a solid and then condenses it, and then evaporating a liquid from a solid, leaving only a solid. And here are some examples, like salt water. It's a solid dissolved in a liquid. So when you put the salt in the water, you can't see the salt grains anymore. But if you let evaporation take hold, all that water will heat up and vaporize and turn into a gas, turn into water vapor, and the solid salt will be left. Same thing with sugar. And soda, you got gas that dissolves in the liquid. So all those little bubbles will dissolve in the liquid. And then you have steel where carbon dissolves in iron. So that's the vocabulary. I just kind of wanted to point that out and go through that with everybody. As you go down, you go ahead and read the text. There's a couple text pages on here. Just a couple things to point out here too. It gives you the main idea on the left-hand side, as well as the vocabulary words and what page they're on. And there's also, pay attention because they put a lot of cool tidbits in here to help you really grasp the lesson. We're talking about read the photo or a quick check. They'll give you some critical thinking questions. You don't have to answer these, but it's good things to think about. And if anybody wants to answer the critical thinking, you can always send me an email, and I'll give you extra credit. So once you get your reading done, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can go ahead and answer the questions, and then go ahead and finish up your exit ticket, and then you can submit it. All right, thanks. Have fun. And if remember, I'm always available on Zoom. I'll post the link for Zoom on the classroom page. And I'm always available Monday through Friday, 1 to 1:30. If you want to get on, ask any questions, if you need any clarification, or if you just want to say hi. All right, thanks.